And next, sa article number 3, in article number 3 naman, the formal requisites of marriage are: first, authority of the solemnizing officer; second, a valid marriage license except in the cases provided for the chapter 2 in this title; and lastly, a marriage ceremony which takes place with the appearance of the contracting parties before the solemnizing officer and their personal declaration that they take each other as husband and wife in the presence of not less than two witnesses of legal age. So, in chapter 3, no, dapat sa chapter 3 is that kinakailangan sa kasal is that merong authority yung solemnizing officer, and dapat meron silang valid marriage license except lamang doon sa mga special cases, and also ceremony with a couple, and meron silang dalawang witnesses or dalawang witness nga of with legal age. So dapat tama yung tao na magkasal sa kanila, like for example the judge, priest or imam. And kailangan ng marriage license na galing sa munisipyo, at dapat may seremonya at may dalawa silang witness. Hindi dapat bata kundi nasa legal age na. Like for example is that kung nagkasal-kasalan lang sila sa bahay nila, wala itong legal effect. And next, article number 4. So in article number 4, the absence of any of the essential or formal requisites shall render the marriage void ab initio except as stated in article number 35. A defect in any of the essential requisites shall render the marriage voidable as provided in article number 45. And last, an irregularity in the formal requisites shall not affect the validity of marriage, but the party or parties responsible for the irregularity shall be civilly, criminally, and administratively liable. So, in article number 4, no, when we say wala itong essential or formal requisites or kasal ay void of initio or walang bisa sa simula pa lamang. And the defect in essential requisites naman, yung kasal ay pwede nilang ipawalang bisa. And the irregularity in formal requisites naman ay yung kasal ay valid but merong liability ang gumawa ng mali. Like for example, kung may kulang or halimbawa walang lisensya, walang bisa yung kasal nila, and kung may defect or or napilitan lamang no doon sa pahintulot, pwede itong ipawalang bisa. And kung may mali sa proseso, halimbawa mali yung pirma, no, yung kasal ay valid pa rin. However, pwede nung kasuhan yung ng party yung kung sino man yung responsible noon. And here in article number 5 naman, any male or female of the age of 18 years or upwards not under any of the impediments mentioned in articles 37 and 38 may contract marriage. So sa article number 35, I mean 5, no, ay any male or female, no, above 18 years old can marry. Those 18 to 20 need parental consent. Like yung minimum age nito is 18 years old, and if 18 to 20 years old ay kailangan pa rin ng pahintulot ng magulang. Like for example, kung 19 ka kinasal, kung 19 ka at kinasal ka ng walang consent ng parents, pwede itong ipawalang bisa ang kasal. So very important na kailangan pa rin ng parental consent para maging valid yung kasal nila. So next, article number 6. So in article number 6, no prescribed form or religious rite for the solemnization of the marriage is required. It shall be necessary, however, for the contracting parties to offer personally before the solemnizing officer and declare in the presence of not less than two witnesses of legal age that they take each other as husband and wife. This declaration shall be contained in the marriage certificate, which shall be signed by the contracting parties and their witnesses and attested by the solemnizing officer. So, in Article number 6, no, hindi required ang specific religious rite dito, kahit simpleng seremonya lang ay okay na. Ang importante ay nakaharap kayo sa solemnizing officer at dalawang witnesses at sabihin lamang ninyo na I take you as my husband or wife. So, meron pa pala, no? Dito. So, in case of a marriage in articulo mortis, when the party of the point of death is unable to sign the marriage certificate, it shall be sufficient for one of the witnesses to the marriage so write the name of said party with which fact shall be attested by the solemnizing officer. So, dito naman when we say articulo mortis, ito yung mga tao na nasa bingit na ng kamatayan. So, in articulo mortis or itong tinawag na deathbed marriage. So, kung hindi siya makapirma, no, pwedeng isulat ng witness yung pangalan or pirma at hindi kinakailangan na in grande yung kasal or magarbo, basta may officer, witness at malinaw na deklarasyon ay valid na. So, kahit simpleng kasal sa judge na walang dekorasyon, basta legal, ito ay valid. So, last article, Article 7. So, Article 7, marriage may be solemnized by, first, any inconvenient member of the judiciary with the court's jurisdiction. Second, any priest, rabbi, imam, or minister of any church or religious sect duly authorized by his church or religious sect and registered with the civil registrar general acting within the limits of the written authority granted him by his church or religious sect that provided that at least of a written authority granted him by his church or religious sect and provided at least one of the contracting parties belongs to the solemnizing officer's church or religious sect. So, third, any ship captain or a plane and ship only in the cases mentioned in Article 31. And fourth, any military commander of a unit to which a chaplain is assigned in the absence of the latter during a military operation, likewise only in the cases mentioned in Article 32. And lastly, any consul general, consul or vice consul in the case provided in Article number 10. So, in Article number 7, no, ito yung mga taong kinakailangan to solemnize the marriage, no? Like the judges within meron siyang jurisdiction, yung priest or pare, rabbis, dito yung mga Jewish, and imams, ito yung tao na isang Muslim, no, or leader sa kanila, and ministers, and that are authorized and registered, sila yung may mga otorisadong tao na pwedeng magkasal, and except doon sa mga special cases like yung sa ship captains and airplane chiefs and military commanders and consuls abroad for Filipinos, sila yung mga in charge or may they have the authority to na magkasal. And also na take note, hindi kahit sino pwedeng magkasal. So, dapat yung pwede lamang magkasal ay yung mga taong registered and may mga and authorized like the priest, rabbis, imams, ministers, and yung sa may mga special cases. So, like for example, kung friend mo lang yung nagkasal sa'yo, like nag-act siya as pare, walang visa iyon at hindi valid. So, yun lamang po for the that's all for the requisites for marriage. And now for the impediments of marriage naman, so first we have here the legal age requirements not met. So like in the Philippines, the family code requires individuals to be at least 18 years old to contract a valid marriage, and that are mentioned in article number 5. No marriage involving minors are considered void or walang visa. So dapat nasa legal age na yung pwedeng magkasal at dapat ay um, buong puso silang kumbaga hindi walang sapilitan at walang pananakot na nangyayari. And number 2, lack of parental consent, like 18 to 20 years old. So individuals between 18 and 20 years old need parental consent to get married. Without it, the marriage may be considered voidable. That was stated at article number 6. So sa isang kasal, no, dapat need ng parental consent pa rin na pinapahintulutan ng isang magulang na pwedeng or pumayag siya na ikasal ang kanyang anak. So kapag walang parent consent, yung kasal may be considered as voidable or walang bisa or mapawalang bisa. So third, we have the psychological incapacity that in article number 36. No, psychological incapacity naman refers to a condition where one or both parties lack the mental capacity to fulfill essential marital obligations. Like for example, it includes here the inability to commit or maintain a lifelong relationships, or meron siyang severe personal disorders or lack of emotional maturity. No, pwedeng dapat both parties ay ma-fulfill nila yung marital obligation nila, like kung hindi, it will cause trouble or problem para sa kanila. So fourth, we have here the bigamy or existing valid marriage. So bigamy occurs when someone marries another person while still being married to someone else. This makes the subsequent marriage void, no, na kasal ka pa sa isang tao at ikaw ay nagpakasal sa isa naman, it considered as walang bisa kasi nga kasal ka pa at nagpakasal ka sa ibang tao, so it considered as void or walang bisa. So last, we have here the incestuous and void marriage under the law. So marriage between close relatives such as siblings, parents and children, or aunts, uncles, and nephews are considered void due to incest. So, syempre, dito sa Pilipinas ay isa yan sa pinagbabawal, no, na hindi pwedeng ikasal yung mga relatives or mga kamag-anak or yung close relatives natin. Kasi, kumbaga, ito ay isang kasalanan para sa Diyos na hindi dapat like hindi tayo magpakasal sa kamag-anak natin, like the parents, childrens, or aunts natin, no? But in some country like China, or yung mga Chinese, sila ay nagpapakasal sa mga relatives nila or mga kamag-anak, no? Kasi believe nila na like in order for them to secure their yung mga kayamanan nila or yung yaman, no, nais nila kasi gusto nila na hindi mapunta sa ibang tao yung kanilang yaman, kaya nagpapakasal sila sa kanilang mga close relatives. So these impediments, no, aim na to ensure that yung kasal are valid and consensual and free from conditions that could undermine the relationship. So those are the impediments for marriage. So that's all, and I hope you'll understand something, and thank you for listening.